Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show with me, your host Sean. If you find any of today's entertainment helpful, don't forget to smash that lovely like button until it turns blue. And if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell notification until it dings, so you get notified when a new video comes out. If you haven't signed up for a free trading platform, there's links down below to 3 separate trading apps where you'll get a free share, and full disclosure, so will I. Now on with the show. We're going to start with something a little different today. We're going to go with gearing up for the end of lockdown and some kind of normalcy while still preparing for the end of lockdown. Preparing ourselves, basically. We're going to get rid of look at shares to buy and the ones to get rid of. We're going to be fairly fast with these. We're going to look at alternatives to shares we may hold. So first up, Peloton. Now recently this has taken a dip because people think end of lockdown it won't be needed anymore, but people need to realise that before all this started, when this was at $18 a share, they were spending 42% of their money in sales in malls. Then the virus hit and people knew about them because it was on TV. It was a thing that people just went online and ordered. They didn't have to pay sales commission, and that sales commission went into the bottom line, and that meant that if you're an investor, you got 42% more revenue. And remember, I said in the last video with Peloton, even once lockdown's over, once the gyms are open, if you are someone who classes yourself as a gym buddy, do you want to be going back to a cramped gym with being on an exercise bike or treadmill next to someone who's sweating, coughing, sneezing, and you're not even sure if they're going to wipe down the bike after someone's gone on it for 5 minutes? You know, isn't it better do it in your own home and save money? I just think this will continue to make money after the lockdown. I'm not saying hold it long term, I'm just saying it ticks some boxes. If you think what a gym membership is, compare it to how much Peloton charges. And with a gym membership you usually pay and then you can't be bothered to get up and go. With this, it's in your home, you've paid for it, so if you're not going to use it, then your partner will badger you for the cost and for it hanging around, and you haven't used it, so that you will use it. And so for me, I think if the price drops a bit more, it'd be worth picking up. Now, the next one is going to be, sorry about this. Right, I'll have one for America and one for UK, because I have a lot of people in USA and Canada and a lot of people in UK. And I get some people saying, why are you focusing on this country? Nah, Simon Property Group. The reason for this is it's down 70%, as you can see there. It's a risky one. It's got a PE ratio of 8, dividend of 15%. Now, I know it's malls. If we've seen with JCPenney and Macy's with bankruptcy, what happens if their malls start declaring bankruptcy? I don't think they can go and get forbearance. And we've seen in the UK where some of these REITs have had to come up with payment plans. Some of them, have actually said, we'll let you forego your rent for this year. You can pay us next year. You can back pay us next year. The thing is, there's all sorts of problems for REITs at the moment, which is why the discount. I said at the beginning of the year, I said at the beginning of the month, with a REIT, unless it's a healthcare REIT or an industry that's going to be open throughout this, you have to consider it this year as lost money, and you're buying as a discount for next year. And a 70% discount, that's what you're doing. I mean, you are buying at a risk because it's such a discount. And for the UK, you've got custodian. Right? Now, thing is, I would have liked to have bought when it was 1 pence. I would have liked to have bought when it was 1 pence a share, but at 85 pence a share isn't a bad price either. When you consider that a lot of their companies have still been open throughout here. It includes likes of Royal Mail. All of their offices have been open. Starbucks, all their shops have been open. You've got I think they've collected, up to April, they collected 60% of their revenue, and they put the rest of them on the payment plan. So they had plans to collect the rest. So I think for the UK, this is one that's worth going into, because it was at 121. So you're getting it a third off. Now remember, with any of these, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I would like you to leave a comment in the comments box and the reason why, or maybe there's some companies I've missed. I do miss companies, but if you've noticed some, please comment in the comments box. Now, going on to Target, because I mentioned Visa before, how Visa were better than MasterCard and PayPal. Now, for the friends across the pond, some people have been saying to me about what I've been saying about Walmart. And yes, Walmart is below its intrinsic value and per earnings growth. Walmart's been doing great, but then I've been asked to provide some alternatives for those who already hold it and are worried about a China-US trade deal, because Walmart relies heavily on Chinese goods. I think about 95% of its goods comes from China. If they put a blockade on anything coming from China, because already put a blockade on any US providers supplying Hawaii. The Walmart would be in trouble. Now, I'm not saying Target wouldn't, but here's my reason for Target. They have a bigger retail space than Walmart. They have a good online space. And they have a Target card which gives you 5% off. People are going to be more frugal. They're not going to care what card they use as long as it gives them a discount. This 5% off cuts out Visa. So Target do not have to pay the Visa fees. And at the same time, the customer feels like they're getting a discount. There's still a huge amount of people who want to go into store, especially once this lockdown is over with. People will want to go into store and try things on. They will be getting tired of the hassle of returning stuff, even with free shipping. And I've noticed, and I've said in the past video, how likes of Amazon customer service has gone down. I think because so many people are returning stuff, they're getting annoyed with returns. And now I think Target, you can go in, you can try on clothes. Not that it's the most hygienic to try on clothes, but however, their online presence is growing and growing. I think someone mentioned before, it could be challenging the likes of Amazon and others. I don't see that myself. However, I do understand where they're coming from, because Amazon used to go online, used to be able to put in a search parameter and it would take you straight there. I'm getting annoyed with Amazon's search parameters now, because I go online, I put in my search parameters, and it takes me 10 minutes to find what I'm looking for, even though I'm putting in specific search parameters. Now, and sometimes I just go to another site. Now, we're going to look at the next one. Sorry about that. Right, with everyone locked down, I was looking at the gaming stocks before. Of course, the biggest one is going to be EA, and the problem for me is it just keeps rising. Now, if I picked it up at 86, no problem. But the thing is, even with PE ratio of 12, it might be worth picking up, because we all know EA. We all know it's a good company, and people look at this graph and think, well, I haven't bought at the bottom. That's the wrong attitude to have. And you can look at the PE ratio, you can look at the finances, and another one to look at is Activision Blizzard. EA and Activision Blizzard are the two best ones, and the graphs look similar, and you can see the difference in PE. And people say this one pays a dividend. Yes, but it's not worth looking at because it's below 1%. And if you're in the UK and you're buying a US company, US will withhold 15% of tax if you've completed a WB8EN form. If you haven't, it'll be 30% of tax. Now, so you will be paying 30%. So if you haven't completed that form, you'll be paying 30% of that anyway. So I wouldn't count the dividend, and if you're on Trading 212, if you just opened it, and the link's down below in the description, on opening the account, they make you fill it in. So that's already filled in, so it'll only be 15%. So EA gets the nod ahead of Activision. They're both giant companies in their field. However, if you want a more diverse company that is also in the gaming, you can't beat Microsoft. You know, and I'll be talking about Microsoft in detail later, because gaming is just a small bit of it. You can see here it has a higher PE ratio, and it only has a dividend of 1%, but you can see when you compare it to Activision, has 3 times the earnings per share, and EA is 10.5. So that's why EA gets a nod in the gaming sector. Now, when you're looking at gaming, people are saying how people will be more frugal after opening. Well, they will have recruited more gamers during this period, and if you're a gamer and you're looking how much something costs, these games, yes, people can sometimes do them within a week, go through them within a week, but they play them again and again to try and beat their score, and they play them against other people. If you consider a new game can cost between £40 to up to £60 for top range game, or dollars for our friends across the pond. If you deduct that from 100 hours of playing, then that's 60 pence an hour. Now, if you go out to a theatre show, it costs you that's going to cost you £60 for a 2-hour show. It's going to be £30 an hour. So, you know, people are going to be weighing that up. But as I say, if you want a company with a remote, Microsoft gets a nod. Anyway, we'll talk about it a bit later. And while we're talking about these, why not talk about the conductors? We have AMD devices. The problem with that is it doesn't have good earnings per share or PE ratio. But you look at Nvidia, again, PE ratio's high for my liking, but the earnings per share is pretty good. The thing is, these are growth stocks. Next year, you know, they're going to take off, because with 5G and everything that's coming on, the only thing that's going to put any kind of halt to their game is this China-US trade war. Now, you can even have a look at the streaming side of the business, such as ESPN, and who owns that? Disney. Again, fairly high PE ratio, but earnings per share of 3. But when you consider that 90% of their company has been grounded, I've gone through Disney before, and why I think Disney should be a $200 stock once everything's open. So again, you're buying this as a speculative stock, and it's your decision. It's like the old adage, Disney Plus will be taking on Netflix. they are growing at a faster rate than Netflix. And basically you get the cruising. Basically you get the cruising, the theme parks, the merchandise, and all the rest thrown in for free. Although those things at the moment are what's dragging it down, but within a year it will be holding it up. So we have kind of gone over on time for the moment. I'll continue this in another video. Don't forget to stay tuned for me going into more depth with other videos, and including Microsoft. I'll see you then. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Bye for now.